From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's 5 o'clock here on your Thursday. Good morning to you. I'm Nicole Griffin.
Nicole, good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and these are your headlines on this December the 3rd.
And the healthcare system is being strained now like never before in this country's history.
Some area hospitals diverting patients due to a lack of staff. This morning, how healthcare leaders are coping and their message to you this morning.
Plus, Eli Lilly's antibody treatment for COVID patients will soon be available in CVS stores. What you need to know about the new pilot program.
And Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez recovering after having a cancerous tumor removed. Coach Frank Reich tells how Sanchez is doing this morning. This Sanchez in Johnson County is doing well. We hope the other Sanchez also does well. Good morning to my good friends, of course, Nicole and Kyle, filling in for Lauren and Todd. You know, guys, usually on a morning like this, I open the door, but after yesterday, Nicole, I decided I'm just going to enjoy my living room.
Stay nice and warm in the living room. Yeah, it's pretty chilly out there, Kyle. I know I stepped out the door and I was like, oh, the wind, it's so cold outside.
Yeah, we envy Rafael even more this morning, getting to stay inside there, nice and toasty. Had to brave the cold car this morning. You're going to need to crank up that heat for sure. We've got temperatures in the 20s. Beautiful shot, though, of downtown Indianapolis. That 26-degree reading, though, it does feel like 18. We've got a little bit of a south breeze. It's under 10 miles per hour, but enough that it is adding to that chill in the air. Temperatures are coming in at 25 for you in Bloomington, 26 in Lafayette, and right around 30 this morning in the Muncie area. Satellite radar shows that we have had some clouds kind of streaming in from the south. Not going to see these really filtering out too much of the sun once we get to our sunrise this morning, but we will see a few more clouds as the day goes along. Our temperature at 8 o'clock this morning, 27, 40 for your lunchtime, and we'll get those highs into the middle 40s later today. Nicole has a check of your morning traffic.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Let's take a live look outside at the roads this morning. This is the I-70 at Midhofer Road there on the east side, where you can see traffic seems to be moving up to speed at this hour. So far, no accidents or delays to report, but we will keep you updated. We begin this morning with the latest data from the Indiana State Department of Health. Officials report more than 6,600 new cases of COVID-19. That's the highest one-day report since last Monday. Since March, 350,970 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. State health officials also report an additional 91 deaths. A total of 5,688 Hoosiers have now died with the coronavirus.
Each of these individuals has a name, a face, a family who loves them and is grieving. Many of them are Hoosiers over the age of 60, but no age group is immune, which is why we need everyone to help us turn things around.
State health officials are bracing for the next 2 weeks as Thanksgiving celebrations are set to lead to more spikes in COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. This morning, Nicole, 16 of the state's 92 counties are listed in the most dangerous category, the red category, in the state's weekly tracking map.
And all but one county is assigned the next riskiest orange rating. The state's 7-day rolling average of COVID deaths has reached 60 per day. That average was less than 10 a day in July. Hospitalizations have skyrocketed more than 350% since last September, when Governor Eric Holcomb lifted nearly all business and crowd restrictions. At Wednesday's briefing on the pandemic, Governor Holcomb was asked if more should have been done to try and prevent the current situation.
We typically don't look back. I've said before that, I mean, if that's the direction you want to go is backwards, then look that way. But we're looking forward each and every day and trying to do more where it works. And this isn't there is no, magic wand where you can just say, we'll do this and it'll go away. No state in the country, and there have been a lot of different approaches to this. And so we look at what's working in different places, and what I just subscribe to is this has a lot to do with we, the people, as individuals, caring for others and taking steps and recognizing that any short-term sacrifice or inconvenience is tenfold worth it for the long-term gain.
Governor Holcomb says he has spoken with different elected officials, business leaders, hospital leaders, and other stakeholders across the state. He says a common theme in those discussions was avoiding a blanket policy when it comes to fighting COVID-19.
So, Nicole, COVID-19 is forcing some hospitals to send patients to other medical facilities right here in central Indiana. The problem, a lack of staff, not a lack of space. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how those healthcare leaders are coping with this situation. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So we're here outside of Community Health, just one of several hospitals who had to divert patients this week because of that lack of staff, like you mentioned. So it's something healthcare leaders, they never want to do and something they rarely have to. But an increase in patients and more employees in quarantine due to COVID-19 has prompted hospitals like Johnson Memorial, Franciscan, and Community Health to at times divert emergency patients. And leaders at all three say the demand for beds and the number of available workers can change hourly. Johnson Memorial Health has been trying to hire additional staff members for months, and until they find people to fill those roles, current employees are having to do more and pick up extra shifts.
It's scary to think that you don't have enough staff, and you call, you try to incentivize, but again, people can only work so much, and there's only so many people out there with the potential to work.
Now, he says things are so bad right now because people are making conscious decisions to ignore what healthcare professionals are saying. And he is urging people to take this virus seriously, keep wearing that mask, social distancing, and avoiding large gatherings. He says that is the only way we are going to get through this pandemic. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. New this morning, Eli Lilly's COVID antibody treatment will soon be distributed by CVS stores. Under the pilot Quorum, the specialty pharmacy and infusion care business of CVS Health will administer Lilly's intravenous antibody treatment in patients' homes or long-term care facilities. Quorum will begin administering 1,000 doses in 7 cities and their surrounding communities starting today. Those include Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Los Angeles, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Tampa. Initial supply of Lilly's drug will go to patients at risk of severe infections but who are not hospitalized, and there will be no out-of-pocket cost.
A COVID-19 testing location in Indianapolis is now moving indoors and appointments are required. Beginning today, the Marion County Health Department is moving its South Side drive-through COVID testing site to the Marion County Fairgrounds. So every Thursday and Tuesday, the site at 7300 Troy Avenue will welcome people through gate number 4 from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. The health department plans to move all of its drive-through testing sites indoors or to a covered location to protect its workers and those seeking testing from the winter weather conditions.
The Pacers are getting training camp underway. Practices are being adjusted for now to just 4 players at a time at the team's St. Vincent Center. We got a look at Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo working on Tuesday. The Pacers do have a new coach as well, Nate Bjorkgren. Oladipo says he looks forward to being healthy for the new season.
I don't know how to explain it, but when you feel better, you just naturally, you just play better when you feel better. It's like when they say when you cut your hair, you look good, you play good. Well, I feel stronger, I'm going to play better. You know what I'm saying? I feel better, certain movements feel better. It's hard to just gauge and pinpoint one thing or one variable, but everything in general just feels better.
Well, the Pacers will play 3 preseason games. The NBA regular season starts on December 22nd.
So the Colts, they're preparing to take on the Houston Texans on Sunday. At the same time, they're thinking about the health of one of their teammates. The organization says that Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez is doing well. Sanchez is recovering from surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. On Monday, he revealed the cancer diagnosis, which is why he was not kicking off against Tennessee. However, he still punted. That will not be the case this Sunday. But head coach Frank Reich says he's optimistic about Sanchez's eventual return.
I don't mind telling you. I mean, our prognosis is positive for Rigo. So, we're hopeful. and we're hopeful it's, it's not months. We're hopeful is I don't know. I mean, it's, this is out of my league, but the reports we're getting are very positive.
Of course, we wish Rigoberto a quick recovery and all the best. In other Colts health news, running back Jonathan Taylor practiced on Wednesday after coming off the reserve COVID list, and quarterback Phillip Rivers did not practice. Reich says that decision was made as a precaution. Rivers is expected to play on Sunday. Now time to check your forecast on this Thursday with our own meteorologist, Kyle Mounts. Kyle, good morning to you.
And good morning, Raphael. Now, I know that Raphael's been waiting for this window of opportunity to go and get my car washed. And I just want to let you know, yes, Raphael, that it is looking good here. Yeah, so come get the keys. Kyle? And we'll be good to go here. It looks like we've got some dry weather going right through the upcoming weekend. You look back to the west, there is a storm system bringing some snow, portions of Kansas and Oklahoma, but this is all expected to stay off to our south. As we go through today, we'll just kind of increase those clouds a little bit. Our temperature topping out in the middle 40s with a light southwest wind. And as we actually look ahead through the month of December here, you can expect below average precipitation. We typically see about 7 inches of snow. Doesn't mean a white Christmas is out of the cards just yet. Of course, we'll keep tabs on that as we get a little bit closer. Raphael?
Kyle, I know of somebody that could help you with that car wash. You come down to Franklin, I'll hook you up. In the meantime, three former commanders-in-chief are hoping to encourage the public to get the COVID vaccine once it's available. We'll tell you how they plan to do that after the break. Nicole?
A new U.S. Department of Transportation rule is cracking down on emotional support animals on planes. Coming up, what you need to know about the changes. It is 5:11. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is 5:14. Today, the UN General Assembly is holding a special meeting to discuss the global response to COVID-19. Nearly 100 world leaders and dozens of ministers will speak virtually about the best path to recovery. The two-day session will just be meant for talking. There will be no fundraising for vaccines or plans for political action. President Trump will not be taking part in the discussion. The U.S. will instead be represented by Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar.
Meanwhile, the UK has approved the use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. It is the first country in Europe to do so. Elderly people in nursing homes as well as home staff in those facilities are at the top of the priority list, followed by people over the age of 80. The rest of the population will be vaccinated in the new year. Now, vaccines will be administered as early as next week. The UK has already ordered 40 million doses. That's enough to vaccinate 20 million people. Now, following that news, Australia said it's on track to approve Pfizer's vaccine by the end of January. The plan is for the first vaccines to be delivered down under by March of 2021.
As we get closer to a COVID vaccine, one concern is whether people will be willing to take a new and unproven shot. Now, 3 former commanders-in-chief are stepping up to prove it will be safe. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton have all agreed to get the vaccine on camera once one is approved. The idea for the awareness campaign reportedly started when Bush reached out to coronavirus task force members, Drs. Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx, to see how he could help, offering to film himself getting vaccinated. Then on Wednesday, Clinton's press secretary said he'd also be willing to get the shot on camera. And in an interview with SiriusXM, Obama said he would also get vaccinated on camera to let people know they can trust the science.
So an online platform connecting patients of color with doctors has seen a record growth during this pandemic. The goal of this website, known as Hue and Service, is to help Black and Latinx patients get what they call culturally competent care. That means physicians who understand racial differences. Kimberly Wilson, the founder and CEO of Hue, she attributes the spike in growth to the reckoning over racial disparities brought on by the Black Lives Matter movement and the disproportionate impact of COVID on communities of color.
There are a lot of psychological barriers that exist within the healthcare system, which lead to fear, distrust, comfortability, and lack of access to quality care for those reasons. And it's because it's systemic.
Wilson's own experience of being diagnosed with uterine fibroids launched the idea for this startup. She saw 4 different white male doctors. Wilson says all of them either dismissed her pain or told her that she needed a hysterectomy. It wasn't until Wilson saw a black provider that she felt heard and learned of other options. Patients can sign up to access Hugh's database of doctors on their website. Providers interested in being listed have to go through a vetting process.
There are new rules for anyone flying with an emotional support animal. The U.S. Department of Transportation says airlines are not required to recognize them as service animals and may treat them as pets. Also, according to the new rule, only dogs will be allowed as service animals. Airlines had asked the DOT to regulate the issue. They were concerned passengers were falsely passing off their pets as the more loosely and fee-free category of emotional support animals. The rule goes into effect 30 days after it's published in the Federal Register. A publication date has not yet been set. If you're preparing to head out the door this morning, make sure to grab the gloves and scarf this morning. Kyle, it's pretty chilly out there.
Yeah, a little bit on the cold side as we're getting here into the early part of December and getting closer to winter, which is a little more than 3 weeks away or so here. We've got temperatures in the 20s for you right now in Indy and Kokomo, 33 though in Bloomington and 30 in Muncie. We've had a few more clouds streaming in from the south, but those winds are under 10 miles per hour. Still enough that it adds a little extra bite to the air. That wind chill in Indianapolis right now feels like 18, feels like 15 degrees in the Peru area. And in Bloomington, remember your temperature is around freezing, but it feels like 25 degrees as you head out there this morning. Checking out TrueCast, and it does show an increase in clouds today. That's really our biggest weather change from yesterday. Not going to be quite as bright. Still take along the sunglasses though, because we will see some sunshine. But I think more cloud cover the farther south you go. You'll see a little more sunshine around Monticello, Lafayette into Logansport, and even around Hartford City this afternoon. Today with the clouds, temperatures will be in the 30s through 11 a.m. We get to your lunch hour and it's 40 degrees even there. We'll get into the middle 40s for that afternoon high. So we're talking about numbers just a couple degrees actually above average for this time of year. And once that sun sets, we get to around 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and those numbers quickly slipping back into the 30s. But this afternoon, 47 for you in the Columbus area, 43 in Muncie, and 44 degrees, the top number in Lafayette. Friday, TrueCast shows that we will have more clouds around the area, and it tries to bring in maybe a sprinkle or two here around Seymour, North Vernon, far southeastern communities. I think most of us going to remain completely dry here. We're just kind of getting brushed by that weather system off to the south, and actually as we go later in the day on Friday, we may see a little bit of clearing taking shape from those clouds. Your forecast on Friday, 46 degrees. We'll call it partly sunny skies. Again, just an isolated sprinkle or two to the south and to the east there. Then on Saturday, a little cooler. That system that will come through here dry, but drops the temperature about 5 or 6 degrees. And on Sunday, we'll be in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees for a high. So it's going to remain on the chilly side this weekend. 7-day planning forecast, we put it all together for you there. And those temperatures, they'll stay in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees early next week. It looks like a dry stretch of weather through the next 7 days. Some cold mornings, though, with those lows in the 20s.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Well, here's a live look at traffic this morning. A live look at I-465 at Washington Street on the west side there. You can see traffic moving up to speed. We aren't tracking any accidents or delays to slow you down this morning. Raphael.
So the WRTV Toy Drive, Nicole, as you know, is right now underway. Coming up, we'll show you how your donations are helping local organizations serve Central Indiana. You're watching WRTV right here on this Thursday morning.
The annual WRTV Toy Drive is underway, and your donations will go to help organizations like Grassroots Projects.
And here's how this group, taking a closer look at how this group serves Central Indiana.
Hi, I'm Priya Gangwani, the president and co-founder of Grassroots Projects. We are an organization which was established in 2017 to serve and provide basic needs to immigrant children from under-resourced communities, low-income communities. 38% of immigrant population suffers from food insecurity. So we started this new project where we have been calling these families and providing them gift cards for shopping for the holidays so that these children get healthy, home-cooked, nutritious food. We are trying to reach out to all these families who have difficulty reaching out to resources because of language barrier, transportation issues, and just being new to the country and not knowing how to access them. We customize the package to them, and we provide the packages at their doorstep. We had to completely restructure and do a food insecurity project and the basic care package. We have been doing all non-contactless drop-offs. All our volunteers were given masks and sanitizers. We have been using Amazon for online shopping. So we are doing our best to keep these families safe and protected during this pandemic. And soaps and masks that we are placing in every care package that we are sending to our kids. I really think the toy drive by WRTV is going to make such a big difference in these children's lives, especially this year, where they have been through the pandemic and all these changes. So thank you so much.
And we thank you for all of your efforts in our community. If you'd like to donate, members of the WRTV team will be outside 4 Simon Mall locations on Saturday collecting donations. We'll be at the Fashion Mall. Nicole will be at Castleton Square. We will also be at Hamilton Town Center. And you can find me and Lauren and Kyle at Greenwood Park Mall. You can also drop off items at U-Store locations across Central Indiana or text WRTV to the numbers 345-345. And for more information, go to WRTV.com/toy drive. All of this information right now on the WRTV app. But first, let's check your forecast on this Thursday morning. Kyle, I look forward to working with you again on Saturday collecting toys.
Yeah, and Raphael, right now that forecast for the collection day on Saturday looking pretty good. A little cool out there, of course, but we are going to be staying dry, and that's pretty similar to today's forecast. We've got temperatures out there this morning in the 20s, and you can see that colder air is pretty much locked in here across a big chunk of the country. Today, our temperatures will recover to around 40 degrees at noon, middle 40s for that afternoon high. We'll break down your weekend forecast, and we've got a lot more news coming your way. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, as COVID-19 cases surge, Indiana officials are making changes to how cases are tracked, what they're doing to streamline what is known as contact tracing.
And increasing patients and a shortage of staff, how hospitals are managing the surge as many reach capacity. We want to welcome you in here to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Nicole Griffin in this morning for Lauren Casey.
Nicole, it is always great to have you. It is always great to have Kyle Mounts, who is filling in for Todd this morning. And Kyle, I have a request.
Okay.
My request this morning is I need temperatures in Franklin to be above 32, around 11. We're having a memorial hog roast to benefit a number of charities.
Nice.
So I need hundreds of people to get through the line really quick. Like, come on.
Yeah.
No rain, Kyle. No rain.
No rain. We got that. No problem there. I think temperatures, yeah, should be pretty close to that, maybe a little above the freezing mark as we get here through the morning hours. In fact, I think as we get toward lunchtime there at noon, we'll be right around the 30-degree to 40-degree mark already. Here's a look downtown Indianapolis, shining pretty good there with those lights. We got temperatures in the middle 20s for you here this morning. Lafayette, clear skies, 26 degrees. It's 25 in Bloomington, and temperatures are chilly, yes, but at least we're about 5 degrees warmer than this time yesterday morning, so we will certainly take it. And there's a winter storm warning back across portions of Oklahoma and Kansas. We're not dealing with any of that. In fact, you see the system's really kind of stalled out off to our south and west, and that does us just fine today. That'll give us just a little increase in clouds. Those temperatures, there you are, 40 degrees at noon, 44 the afternoon high. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. We are keeping an eye on the roads this morning for you as you wake up. Here's a live look at our INDOT traffic camera up at I-69 at State Road 37. And good morning to everyone in Fishers. We aren't tracking any accidents or delays so far to start your Thursday, but we will keep you updated.
Good morning to Zionsville, Greenwood, and Columbus. This morning, Indiana leaders are making changes to their contact tracing system as they prepare for a post-Thanksgiving COVID-19 spike.
In the governor's weekly update, State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box said the increased cases have put more pressure on contact tracers. Now officials want to help streamline the process by only notifying people who tested positive for the virus rather than also contacting those who are also exposed. Instead, they are instructing those infected to notify people who may have had close contact.
We will also emphasize the definition of a close contact and provide related quarantine guidance for those close contacts. The contact tracers will strongly encourage the positive individual to notify all of their close contacts. Remember, a close contact is a person who has been within 6 feet of you for 15 minutes or more throughout the course of a day. That includes a person who shares your household or a coworker if you are within that 6-foot space for 15 minutes or more. If you fall within that description, you're a close contact and will need to quarantine, even if you are wearing a mask.
Well, Dr. Box says the changes will speed up the process and ensure that people who have been exposed will take immediate steps to prevent further spread of the disease.
Here's a look at Indiana's latest numbers, Nicole. The State Department of Health reporting 6,655 new cases of COVID-19. That brings Indiana to more than 350,000 total cases. The state also recording 91 deaths. 5,688 people have died since the pandemic began. Dr. Box says the impact from Thanksgiving's gatherings is still to come.
In a report from the White House Coronavirus Task Force, Indiana's situation with the virus is critical. The report was obtained by ABC News. It recommends that anyone under the age of 40 who traveled outside of their home for Thanksgiving should assume they have been infected. Those 65 and older or individuals with underlying health conditions should not be in indoor places where people are not wearing masks. They should also have things like groceries and prescriptions delivered when possible. The task force is also recommending that the state issue more restrictions on things like indoor dining.
Good morning to Greenfield, Kokomo, and Anderson. Several hospitals are having to divert emergency patients at times as they reach their capacity. Our Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning with how hospital staffs are coping with this situation right now in central Indiana. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So it's no secret that healthcare workers across the country, they are working tirelessly right now trying to care for patients. But leaders say right now, a lot of them are just stretched thin. It's something healthcare leaders never want to do and something they rarely have to. But this week, several hospitals had to divert emergency patients. Dr. David Dunkel is the president and CEO of Johnson Memorial, and he says twice recently the hospital hit capacity, but not in the way you might think.
I will never run out of beds. I will run out of staff, and we're really seeing that right now. Last night, we didn't go on diversion because of beds. We went on diversion because we didn't have the staff to take care of those patients.
Now, he says they have more than 20 staff members out due to COVID-19. It's the highest number they've seen since March. The shortage isn't unique to Johnson Memorial, and it isn't even new to the pandemic. We spoke to the Emergency Nurses Association president-elect, and they tell us some healthcare workers across the state haven't had a day off in weeks and are dealing with burnout. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. The coronavirus warnings are getting more urgent as cases explode across the country. Yesterday, the U.S. setting a pair of new grim records. More than 100,000 Americans in hospitals for COVID-19 symptoms and the second highest death toll ever. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
The latest metrics for the coronavirus in the U.S. all pointing the wrong way this morning. New infections of COVID-19 at an all-time high. Hospitalizations and the death toll reaching levels this country hasn't seen since April. The CDC now warning 200,000 more Americans could die from the virus within the next 3 months.
December and January and February are going to be rough times. I actually believe they're going to be the most difficult time in the public health history of this nation.
The potential impact on an already taxed healthcare system worrying officials coast to coast. ICUs near capacity in New Mexico, North Dakota, and Rhode Island. Some hospitals in New York and Virginia suspending elective surgeries as COVID symptoms send a record 100,000 Americans to hospitals across the country.
We're very concerned at the number of cases that were present today, and I don't even think that represents the Thanksgiving holiday.
The White House task force saying America is in a dangerous place, adding those 65 and older should not enter any indoor public areas where anyone is unmasked.
Is a very risky situation.
The grim development coinciding with hopeful news on the vaccine front. Health officials in the UK authorizing the world's first COVID-19 vaccine. The U.S. not far behind. Officials expecting the Pfizer vaccine to be available here starting December 15th.
It's just making sure that we have everything locked so when EUA decision comes, distribution to the American people becomes immediate within 24 hours.
And also, Dr. Anthony Fauci says the U.S. could be close to normal by next summer if at least 70% of the American population gets vaccinated. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
An annual holiday performance will look so much different because of the pandemic this year, but the show will go on. Starting next week, the Indianapolis Ballet will perform Nutcracker Suites, a condensed version of the Nutcracker.
It's not anywhere the complete production that we do in a very large theater with a full orchestra. There was absolutely no way that we can do it safely. And certainly not under the current guidelines. We are performing in some beautiful costumes, fully masked.
Earlier this week, the city announced dozens of grants for performing arts organizations. The Indianapolis Ballet received more than $15,000 from those grants. The money is from the Federal CARES Act.
This CARES Act funding is so important to us because it's really our survival. If we don't have ticket revenue coming in, and especially now where everything is reduced down to 25%, if we don't have individual and corporate sponsors behind us and the generous foundations in the community, there is no way that we as an organization can survive, or pretty much any other organization.
Exactly like how it was.
So listen up, the Nutcracker Suites opens up next Friday, December the 11th at the Toby at Newfields. For more information, go to indieballet.org. And Kyle, this will be the first time in 10 years that I will be unable to perform with the Indianapolis Ballet, the Nutcracker, because they had to reduce the cast numbers because of COVID. So I'm going to have to sit out this year. They cut me until next year, but listen,
oh my gosh.
I'll show you and Nicole my dance moves later on, socially distanced, of course, in a Zoom call. How about that?
Yes, and we will be recording. We'll share it with everybody, right? We'll get you out there in that performance. All right, temperatures here in an early month of December. They started off a little bit cold. What does the rest of the month have in store? Well, the Climate Prediction Center outlook calling for above average temperatures here as we go through the month. Doesn't mean a heat wave, but certainly we will take it as our temperatures do, on average, continue to get a little bit colder by the end of the month here. Our average high is in the middle 30s. And as far as precipitation, that's expected to come in below average. We average about 6.9 inches of snow. Don't let this dash your dreams of a white Christmas, though. Right now, we'll put that chance at about 30%. Nicole, I've got your order in already for some snow on Christmas Day.
Oh, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Kyle. Well, an Indianapolis plumber's license is being taken away following a WRTV investigation. Coming up, why a state panel is saying this is one of the worst cases they've ever seen.
Our Kara Kenny on the job on that story. And Nicole, another mystery metal pillar has popped up in the U.S. Have you seen this? Its latest location and what some believe is behind this bizarre phenomenon. This story and much more coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A state panel has taken formal disciplinary action against an Indianapolis plumber accused of taking customers' money and not doing the work. WRTV Investigates has been digging into Jonathan Kirby's business practices now for more than a year. The Attorney General filed a formal complaint against Kirby, alleging 8 counts of fraud, deception, misconduct, and violations of Indiana law. The Indiana Plumbing Commission met virtually on Wednesday, and they voted unanimously to find Kirby guilty on all 8 counts. They revoked his plumbing license, fined Kirby $8,000, and ordered him to pay more than $2,800 in restitution to his customers. One commission member called it one of the worst cases he's ever seen.
I would think this was probably the most severe penalty I've seen at a commission meeting, and I've been on the commission a long time, but
Kirby did not appear at the hearing, but tells WRTV that he's working to pay people back. He won't be able to get his plumbing license for another 7 years.
The pandemic has encouraged more people to adopt pets, but the Better Business Bureau is warning about puppy scams. The BBB Scam Tracker noted a spike in pet fraud reports starting in April, and it's only continued. Investigators say it usually happens when people search online for a new pet and end up going to an illegitimate site. Many people lost around $750 to these scams. PetScams.com recommends using video calls to meet the animal and its owner virtually before dishing out any money.
So another mysterious metal pillar spotted in the U.S., the monolith located on a California park hiking trail. Have you seen this on your Facebook feed? It's similar to other strange objects spotted around the world recently, including one in the remote part of Utah. That one was found by a helicopter, but when hikers went to look for it, it was gone. However, video later surfaced on YouTube of 2 men removing the monolith from its Utah location. We don't know yet if the same people are responsible for that object in California. We'll have to see whether or not this is really a mystery or not.
Well, in hiring Hoosiers this morning, the Indiana Department of Transportation is still hiring for the season as it starts to look and feel more like winter. A job fair will be held today from 9 to 3 at the INDOT facility on Brookville Road near Shadeland. Applicants should be able to pass a drug screen and background check, bring a valid CDL and a current Department of Transportation physical if possible. For more information, just go to hiringhoosiers.com. Kyle.
And we had a little taste of some winter-like weather here early in the week with a few snow showers out there, but I don't see anything measurable coming our way anytime soon. We certainly have the winter chill, though. It's 26 degrees downtown, 25 in Bloomington, and 26 in Lafayette. It does feel a little bit colder than that as we've got a light south breeze. Temperatures, they will start to recover a little bit here. We're back to 40 degrees for the lunch hour, and we'll get into the middle 40s for that afternoon high, right about where we should be here in early December. Now, the big weather change for today is going to be a little more cloud cover. Yesterday, we enjoyed full sunshine. Today, little different story. I still think you'll see a lot of sunshine around Lafayette, Kokomo, Hartford City, Peru, Logansport. But as you travel to the south, a little more thicker cloud cover is going to be in place here. Still some breaks of sunshine as we go throughout the day, so it's not going to be overcast skies, I don't think, but a little different from yesterday. 43 your high today in Kokomo and Muncie. We'll top out around 47 in Lafayette and Petersburg. We'll find those mid to upper 40s right across I-70 here, and as we get into Richmond, 42 for the afternoon high. A little bit warmer by about 5 degrees for you in the Seymour area at 47, and Sullivan, your afternoon high at 46. On Friday, we'll keep those highs in the middle 40s here as we round out the work and school week with those partly sunny skies. So again, a dry day for us. The change for the weekend, we're going to get brushed by a couple of weather systems. I don't think there's really enough moisture that we're going to be seeing any precipitation, but it will kind of reinforce some of that chilly air that's going to be in place, and that will drop our temperatures a little bit. But if you are going to be heading out there and to some of the area malls that we'll be at on Saturday for the toy drive collection, the forecast here At 10 a.m., 33 degrees, and we'll be out there throughout the day. 36 at noon. Winds should be fairly light. Mix of sun and clouds as we get through the afternoon. Only around 40 for the high on Saturday. Might be a degree colder than that, though, on Sunday at 39 with those partly sunny skies. Temperatures will start to recover a little bit here in the 7-day planning forecast, though, as we put it all together for you. Middle 40s next couple of days with lows around 30 degrees. There's the cooler air for the weekend. But as we look into next week, temperatures will start off around 40 on Monday, but then start to climb a little bit here as we get toward Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got highs in the middle 40s, dry through the next 7 days, and of course that December outlook featuring some warmer temperatures yet to come. How are things on the track?
Not a whole lot going on outside this morning on the roads. Let's take a live look outside. This is one of our INDOT traffic cameras, I-465 at I-865 there on the northwest side. Traffic is moving up to speed. We will keep you updated. Raphael.
So, Nicole, this Sunday, players across the NFL, they're going to wear their custom cleats to raise money for charities that they're really passionate about. Many members of the Colts will also participate in this year's My Cause, My Cleats campaign. Here's a look at a few of the amazing kicks that we'll see. Tight end Jack Doyle will wear cleats for Riley Hospital for Children. T.Y. Hilton for the Boys and Girls Club of Zionsville. Darius Leonard will support the Lupus Foundation of America and honor his sister who is living with the disease. Many of the cleats will be auctioned off to raise money for those organizations. The Colts will wear their cleats in Sunday's game against Houston.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas across the U.S. In D.C., the Capitol Christmas tree was officially lit last night. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was there to lead the official countdown. The 55-foot tree was harvested in November from a national forest in Colorado. All of the decorations are from there as well, with thousands handcrafted by kids. And in New York City, the Rockefeller Center tree lights are officially up as well. 50,000 lights on the tree were turned on without the usual crowd in attendance, and starting today, the 75-foot Norway spruce will stay lit from morning until midnight every day through the new year. If your home is decked out for the holidays, we want to share a picture of your light display for a chance to win tickets to the Christmas Nights of Lights show at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. The contest ends on December 6th. For more information, just go to WRTV.com and click on the contest tab.
Yeah, we want to see your picture, so please send those in. Indiana police officers counting down to Christmas, not with advent calendars, but with books. Their mission to spread holiday cheer through reading right after this break.
Welcome back. The West Lafayette Police Department is helping kids count down to Christmas with story time.
What a great cause. So every day leading up to the holiday, police officers and department staff are reading books to children. A spokesman with the department says it is a great way to introduce officers to the youth and allow kids to see them in a different light. They will read a new holiday-themed book each day and will post it on the department's social media page. You can find a link to their page on our website, WRTV.com. See, Kyle, the power of one, all these great creative ideas, something that anyone can copy and do from their own, for example, living room. I may read a book right now.
Yeah, you know, we can still reach all the kids and everybody out there, right, through the use of social media, and Zoom has been, of course, very popular and in high demand. Temperatures out there as kids are heading to the bus stop this morning. We got numbers in the middle 20s. We'll have some clouds around throughout the day. 45 will be the afternoon number. And if you've been looking for a time to get that car washed, I would say go and do it. You'll kind of get your money's worth here as we're expecting dry weather right through the upcoming weekend. And there's a look at that weekend forecast with highs around 40 degrees. We got a lot more coming your way. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.